Hey everybody, welcome to Lauren.live, Spirituality, Health, and Lifestyle Podcast. I'm Lauren. Thanks for listening today. If you're new, thank you for checking me out. If you've been listening along as a true follower, loyal, thank you so much, you guys. Some really exciting things have been happening with growth and things that are coming in the future. Today it's just me. I wanted to pop on real quick just to say hi, as I do from time to time. Do a check-in. How are you guys all doing? The world continues to be crazy, but things are happening, and I'm feeling super stoked and humble that I've had some really cool guests on, and I have more booked for weeks and weeks to come. I've been getting a lot of really neat introductions and connections, and I'm really excited. I think it's really great content coming your way, so I hope you feel the same. So I wanted to just pop on and talk about synchronicities, which I've spoke about before in a previous episode, my angel numbers, and I talk about synchronicities. If you're not familiar with it, that's when you see like repeating numbers, or it can be in forms of like symbols or signs that you see in patterns, certain like animals that you see. The point is that you see synchronicities in your life, you see patterns in your life, and they're often repeating. And then some of the most common ways that people experience those are in numbers, or through songs, or the same dreams, same animal sightings, different things like that. So this is actually a topic that I've had synchronicities that have happened. So I've had two different guests talk about, we talked about death. Benjamin Myers, a couple episodes back, we talked about life after death. And it's interesting because after that, I had two good friends tell me that people in their circles had passed away, family members and distant family members of their spouse, within a day apart. And it's so crazy because I don't know, I just feel like, and then here it is. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. My other friend told me that one of her massage therapists' mother died, and she knew it was coming. I believe she had cancer, and her friend has had channeling experiences before, and so she's in touch with, other realms and spirits, and she was able to actually kind of go through part of the spiritual experience of the death of her mother, and be there for her and fully support her. And she saw different signs come through. So I just thought that was really interesting that she's telling me this amazing story about the grief and the sadness, but also like the beauty of like letting go, and her like being able to help her mom leave this planet. What an amazing, honorable thing that you could do for your mother through her last days. And she was seeing all types of like signs from her mother, and spiritual experiences, which, in my opinion, bring great comfort. So I thought it was really interesting that within a few days, I had 3 separate friends tell me that someone in their circle had died, then this massage therapist's mother who had died, and there was all these spiritual things and different sightings, and ghost-like appearances happen right after I did a podcast about life after death. So that was one synchronicity that popped up for me personally. I'm not sure if anyone else has felt this way, but I've heard this from a couple of people that I know, that death has just felt more prevalent lately. And of course, last year specifically, obviously COVID, there were lots of deaths, and I don't know, it just seems like there's been a lot of sudden deaths in people that I know's life, in my distant circles, friends of friends, family friends. And I don't know, more than ever, I've just been hearing about really traumatic, fast, quick deaths with no time to prepare. And it's really interesting to wonder about, is this something that's a big exit time, which I've heard that from many spiritual sources. And, a medium of mine had said, they were needed on the other side, which is a lovely thought to think. that they were needed in another place and that they're okay. So that was just one synchronicity. I'm not sure if others have felt that, but I wanted to bring that up because I know there have been what I feel like more death happening in the world. And it's not always something that's talked about a lot. I think we're taught to kind of fear death and not talk about it a lot. And I think the more we can become comfortable and realize that it is part of our reality and it happens to every single one of us at some point, I think it's good to talk about it from time to time and to work on not fearing it and understanding that it's just something that happens and there can be beauty and light on the other side. There's been so many people that have come through with near-death experiences, reassuring us that there are positive things on the other side, and mediums that channel people that have crossed over. So there is a whole nother side that many of us don't always think about. So I did want to just bring that up. And then also another synchronicity that I've kind of been noticing is I never thought about this before, but I've had two different people, Benjamin and then Augie, who was on my podcast twice, but last week specifically. If you have not checked that episode out, check it out. It's so awesome. I'm still thinking about it. We've covered so much, and both Benjamin and Augie have the best energy. I really enjoyed talking with both of them. I actually have Benjamin coming on another couple weeks again on the show. When there's part twos, that's good. There's just so much content to be covered. But Benjamin talked about this and Augie both, and we've had separate conversations offline about it as well. About Jesus being channeled a lot right now. And I have to say, as someone who has been more in the spiritual, not religious category for so long, I always just thought of Jesus being like a historical figure for sure, like a human who was here in history. I do believe that he walked the earth, and I do believe, my opinion is that he was a medium and a healer during his, time way back when. And he had some amazing powers that were seen and written about. And then the story got changed into him being, a savior of all on earth. So of course, everyone is welcome to their own beliefs. And, I don't go too much into that part of things, but the beauty is no matter what your thoughts are on him, I do believe that he is a source of good energy, love, and we can learn so much from him. And he's got the most amazing powers. It's really interesting that both Augie and Benjamin, again, I hadn't heard this before, but they've been channeling a lot with him. And I think that's interesting. I think more and more people are getting in touch and channeling with Jesus. And I never thought of him as this, but he's almost as a master guide of this realm, this earthly realm. That is kind of a newer belief system versus him being, either you don't believe in Jesus or you don't believe he's like the savior of the popular Christian belief that he's a savior of, all on earth. Or you may just think that, he was never existed. But a new way of me looking at it is that he is seen as like a master guide for all, and everyone has access to him and can channel with him, and he's here to support us all in this earthly realm. So I found that really interesting and a new way to look at about him. I have to say, in my small-minded self years ago, I just kind of was like, yeah, I believe him. I think he was a good person, and I think that he had, some clairvoyant abilities, and then that was kind of all. I kind of left it at that and didn't pay much attention. But now I'm hearing so many of the people that I'm coming in contact with, as my spiritual beliefs have changed, speak about how they're channeling with him, and a lot is coming through, and he's really stepping through to a lot of people right now as a big support and guide for us because of everything that's been going on the earth and how crazy it's been. And it's really neat to think of him as, a master guardian angel, if you will, for this particular planet and this particular realm. So I really thought that was neat. I wanted to share that. I'm not sure if you've thought about that at all, but it's neat to hear what's been coming through. And I think I would like to practice personally doing some channeling with him. That's been a big topic that's been on my mind and heart. I've spoken about it now with several guests, and I had my own episode talking about getting in touch with your spirit guides. So channeling is a huge thing on my mind just because a lot more people are realizing they have the gift and the ability to channel, and it's just starting to come through. So I am really excited to see if I might be able to tap in and channel more. I feel that I'm on the brink of it. I can feel it intuitively. I feel like things are starting to kind of come through. I'm learning to just listen to myself and not say, oh, that's just your brain, because I do think things come through to us. It's a gift. It's our third eye opening. And more people in this great awakening are learning about the power within, and it's nothing can stop this. So that's the coolest thing about all this, is despite censorship and despite the the division going on, and all of the fear that's being, shoved down our throats every second in the media. On the other side, what's super cool about all this is that we're learning, and more people by the day are learning. We have what we need inside. We have the ability to channel. We have the ability to meditate and tap into different realms. We can be in touch with different spirit guides. There's things being figured out with, space and ETs. There's so much more, and it's coming through, and it's part of our healing and our evolutionary process. So I just keep emphasizing that, because it's easy to get down. And a lot of people are, I've had side conversations with people that have similar beliefs as me, but they're just like, Lauren, this world, I don't see it. Like, it's just so negative, and there's so much bad happening. Like, I'm not sure what you're talking about, this awakening. And I'm like, trust me, people are waking up. People are letting go of these old paradigms, and things that used to be interesting to us, or old habits, are changing. We are letting things that are not serving us anymore go. That's all part of this awakening, and letting go of all the toxicities and negativities. That in itself is a huge shift for better times to come, and a different way of thinking. Being able to freely talk online about some of the stuff when in history, myself or somebody else that spoke about spirits and different things would be seen as a witch, right? So being able to freely speak about this stuff, even though there's tons of censorship out there, it's such a cool thing. And I don't know, I just feel so blessed to be able to talk to these cool people, and I'm finding similarities in different people that are channeling stuff. Again, they don't know each other, and they're getting similar messages coming through, which is very affirming in my human brain to be like, okay, this isn't so crazy if multiple people are having similar, experiences. So just wanted to kind of pop on and let you know what's going on in my head, but also just some of the things that I've been noticing out there through several of my contacts who are channelers and, in the spiritual world. It's really, really cool to watch. And not only my own personal, growth and awakening, but others as well. And all the things that we can learn from each other. And I don't know, I'm really pumped that there's really some silver linings and some positivity out there, despite the chaos that is plastered all over, social media and the news, and everyone who, talks to each other about all these things over and over and over. It's so repetitive. And I don't know, there's so much more beyond. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, is just reminding you to pay attention to synchronicities. Those are two that I just spoke about that are really coming through right now, stuff about death and stuff about Jesus coming through as a master guide, and how we can all access that if we choose. Some things that I hadn't really thought a lot about. And I do want to dive deeper into some of those topics, because I do think they're very relevant always, but especially right now. As usual, just coming on to wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful week. Keep your positivity up, you guys. We have so much work to do here. You just being here is a gift. You're raising this earth's vibration, and, continue to meditate and ask for guidance on why you're here and what your purpose is, and how you can help continue this awakening. We've got a lot of work to do, but the good news is a lot of stuff is coming out. We're in that rocky phase right now. I've been told there's a lot more craziness to come. This whole supply chain thing, hopefully it won't get crazy, but if it does, I really wouldn't be surprised anymore. I feel that I'm not surprised with stuff that could go down. I think we used to say oh, this stuff is conspiracy theory stuff, but I mean, after last year with all the craziness that went down, I wouldn't be surprised anymore if some other crazy stuff happened. So, make sure that you're preparing mentally and also physically. We are humans in a physical realm. Make sure, and it's not out of fear, it's just to be smart. Make sure that you are stocking up on essentials, just in case the supply chain continues to get crazy over the holidays. And, I say, let's not give into the fear and add to the fear. Let's not feed into it versus, rather let's prepare so that we're not surprised and we're not, the ones that are crazy at Costco fighting over toilet paper and paper towel. By the way, every time I go, I still can't find paper towels now. It's crazy to me that we're in this predicament, but luckily we had a few extras that we kept out in our shed. So it's always good to be prepared. I think it's great to just get extra, food and extra water, of course, which is something we should always have. Think about, if there's natural disasters, this isn't about living in fear, but more just being prepared. And also then that leaves more for people when there are crazy times and people panic and start doing the whole hoarding of toilet paper, paper towel, etc. So just a quick friendly public statement, get out there, get your things, stock up on, hygiene essentials, extra toothpaste and soaps, hand soap, just things to have so that if anything does happen, you have it and you don't have to panic. And again, I think it's just all about not feeding into the fear, not feeding into the hype in the media, because that's really what I believe the corporations and the media count on. The supply and demand chain, us panicking and wanting to buy everything and making us feel that we need to be fearful. There's no need to be fearful. Just be prepared. And then on the other flip side, we need to be preparing our mental muscle, if you will, our brain, our pineal gland, our third eye, our chakra system. We need to be keeping balanced. We need to be meditating and just asking for guidance, asking for clarity, and, asking to be guided during this time. There's just going to be a lot more craziness, I believe, in the next few years, maybe beyond. This awakening process is not for the weak hearts. We have a lot of work to do, and we have to stick together. We have to keep prepared and organized, and we also have to take care of ourselves and take care of others. How can you help others? How can you serve others right now? These are the things that have been on my mind, and that I've been, reminded by people that I look up to as well. It's a perfect opportunity for service. How can I serve you? How can I help you? Times are tough. I'm blessed to have some things and supplies. We're doing great. How can I help you? Let's get more into that versus this division. I don't believe in you and your choices right now. You're out of my life. No. How can I help you? Why are you triggered? What can I learn from you? There's so much opportunity right now. That should honestly be the topic of this podcast, and the title is opportunity. I was actually supposed to have a guest on today and they didn't show up. And, instead of being bummed, I thought, this is an opportunity to come on, speak from my heart. It's candid as usual. I literally had nothing prepared because I had a topic and a guest that was lined up. And I was, thinking of speaking about something else with a guest. And here I am winging it. But I think there's just a ton of opportunity right now for ourselves, self-growth, and also collectively. So there's an opportunity to continue to talk about things in a deeper realm, what are the deeper meanings right now? What can we learn? How can we evolve? And how can we serve one another? There's always an opportunity. And I think until we do learn and let go of our old ways, we will not move forward as quickly. And I'm really hoping through COVID and all the crazy writing and all the crazy stuff that happened last year, I live outside of Seattle area, and, all the stuff that happened with the police station and the Chaz chop area, whatever you want to call it, all the violence and the graffiti, and there was some crazy stuff that happened down there. It's scary. And then just the supply chain stuff and the politics and the election, there was just so much going on, and it kind of continues. And the vaccine thing, it's just like exhausting, right? But if we don't take the opportunity to change or to learn from something, what's the point? So I see all this as valuable. These are valuable opportunities. And let's just look at it in a different way. And I think the two biggest things, and then I'll wrap up, are just what opportunity do I have right now to do good? And how can I serve myself and somebody else? I think those are the two biggest things that we should all focus on collectively. And I think we could really change the world. So I just continue to pray for world peace. I pray for a place with, no poverty, no disease, no crime, no violence. We've got a long ways to go, but there are so many loving, wonderful beings waking up. And I think each day we are getting closer and closer, and it could take centuries, but we're part of it. We're here. You are here for a reason, no matter what your beliefs are. You are a wonderful person, and you are here to do something and to help. So let's band together. Let's stay positive. Let's lean on one another, and let's use this time as an opportunity to grow and serve one another. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you, as always, for listening. Pay attention to the synchronicities. Those could be signs, something that you need to learn or something that you need to act upon, something that you should explore, perhaps. I don't believe there are coincidences. I believe those are signs that were put into your life for a reason. And it's up to you if you want to ignore them or look deeper into it and see what the universe is trying to communicate to you. So with that, I will sign off. I wish you nothing but the best. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you soon. Thanks for listening to Lauren.live. You can find me on Instagram at RealLaurenLive and my website, Lauren.live.